I don't believe that's real. I believe that's all edit stuff, though.
You know, everybody says it's a green screen in the
Oh
background,
man,
but
come on, man. You joking. Look at this guy. Are you
but you
joking
know,
me? That was sweet. That was sweet, man. That's a long ways from my little thing I got. But welcome back. Welcome back to the Extraordinary Drummer Show. As you know, I'm your host, Cheron Moore. You know, I always say today, today, today. Will you help me welcome, please, to the Extraordinary Drummer Show, Jabril Malik. Hey, Jabril, how'd you get started playing drums and when did you get your first drum kit?
My dad recently sent me a photo last month when it was my birthday, and he showed me that I've been drumming since I was 6 years old. So I was really young. I don't even remember all of the moments, but I just saw myself on his drum set, and what really got me started was watching him practice on a drum set in the garage, and then watching my older brother, practice. And so when I got tall enough to reach the foot pedal, that's when I started practicing. But also, let's see, when I was 7 years old, uh, I joined my dad's drum line and I played the cymbals. And we would be out there in that hot sun marching about 2.5 miles, and I would just be carrying the cymbals playing, growing up as a little kid. And that's pretty much how I got into drumming in general.
Take me over to Rosemount High School. What was the scene there?
It was it was the first 2 years there wasn't easy for me, and let's see, my third year there I got into the marching band, and that's when everything started changing for the better, and from that point on, my junior and senior year was pretty decent, but yeah, it was.
So in high school, is that where the marching corps stuff started?
Actually, before high school, my dad created a drum line, and I was just a part of it as a kid, and it actually prepared me for high school, and even during high school, I was still in there, so I was going back and forth between his drum corps and my high school band. So
Is this right? College, Prairie View, AM University?
yeah, A&M University, yeah,
What
marching
was that
school.
like?
Oh, it was a heck of an experience. It was a roller coaster from trying to transfer into the school from after I graduated from community college. I wanted to go to HBCU, and I was struggling between trying to get my classes straight and trying to do marching band, which was an all day every day type of deal. The only day off we got was Sunday. every and during band camp, that I would say band camp really kind of helped me grow up as a person. I would say it was, if you've seen the movie Drumline, it was that, but probably 10 times worse.
What did you think of that movie, Drumline?
But that's how I got inspired. One of the reasons I got inspired to be in a drum line.
What about you were assistant director over at Guardian Knights Drum Corps.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's my dad's drum corps. Yeah. So I helped him growing up. So once I hit 18, I kind of became more into the instructor role, but I was still active at the. So I was juggling both at the same time, because I was one of the only people that knew how to do certain things or come up with creative ideas in drum lines with them. So
What's the difference between, in your world, creative ideas and tricks?
uh well, you could do a trick and then you can manipulate the trick. So for example, For example, you have this one, the trap, the knuckle roll trap, and then I thought, well, how could I manipulate it to do something else? So, I try to grab it. Um, One of my friends, Marcus Joyner, he came up with this. I thought, well, that happens all the time, but came up with this idea. Another guy I know, Ralph Nader, I saw him do this. So I mean, I'm not the only one out there that comes up with creative ways to manipulate stick tricks, but I I want to be at the top when it comes to innovation of them. So like from a basic stick trick, moving on up to like something crazy manipulated, which is what everybody is seeing now. So that's the difference.
Tell me
Yeah,
about SDJ Malik. Is that the brand?
that is now it's the brand. Yeah, but before it was, back then, before Prairie View, I had the whole concept in my head. Like I wanted to be this certain character that was just like cool and didn't care about what people think of you, and he got the swagger, he got the skills, and he's just all that in a bag of chips. But at the same time, not narcissistic or like arrogant or none of that. Still humble in a way, but he's like, I'm cool. I'm just cool dude.
Tell me about Nothing Less Than Epic, the album.
Yeah, I produce my own music because I got tired of getting copyright strikes on my social media accounts, and you don't get paid for them either. The record labels and the artists do, which is cool because it's their music. So I thought, how can I still use background music but without going through all of that? So I learned how to produce my own soundtracks and I played to them. And a lot of people was asking me like, how do I download this backtrack? So I got the idea to just make an album, a soundtrack, and then I released it on Spotify and all of that. Now I'm working on my second one, which should be probably early next year. Nothing Less Than Epic Volume 2. So, and the meaning of Nothing Less Than Epic is kind of speaks for itself. When I perform, I try to do the craziest performances I can possibly think of. While they're very high risk, it's very risky. You might drop your drumsticks, but nonetheless, it's all about just entertaining people to the highest level possible, which is nothing less than epic. I don't anything under that. I don't want it. So
It definitely is epic and it's at a high level, and I've never seen no one do it. Tell me about the TV show Morning Blend out in Las Vegas.
yeah, producer contacted me, and it was at the same time I was visiting Las Vegas, so it was like we came together on a date to do a little live performance. So I ended up on live TV in Las Vegas performing for them. So and a live interview, which was my first ever experience on TV.
Let's do this. Let's go in and talk about some endorsements. What are you
Yeah,
doing? I saw you playing Vader. You still with them guys?
yeah, I got a signature stick with them actually, custom made. Like there's people may say like, oh, you could just anybody can do it and get a regular stick and put their name on it. I'm like, well, these are custom made drumsticks to the balance that I like them, to the way I like them. So I collaborated with them to produce that stick, and they debuted it back in 2019. So 3 years now.
What size is it?
It's 17 inches, a standard marching snare stick size, but the
So
difference is,
is that 2B?
oh no 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 no, 2B is like this skinny.
Wow.
I wish I had a 2B stick I can compare it to. It's like this stick is three of those sticks, and
Wow.
a little heavier. So
How do you put that? That's like taking a pine tree around. How do you move that thing?
I don't even think about it really. It hits me whenever I pick up a regular 2B stick and I'm like, wow, these things are flimsy and light. Like they're too easy to break for me.
What is that? What is that drum? Is that a drum when you're in the videos? What is that? Is that a drum or a pad?
It's my recent videos. It's a march and snare drum. It's 14 inches by 14 inches around and 12 inches tall, I think. Am I saying that inverted? I hope not. All the marching band people are like, you should know this information. I have a terrible memory,
Are you
but
at
yeah,
liberty to say what company's made by?
yeah. I actually endorse them as well, Pearl Drums. So I've been with them since 2019. So
Ah,
it's 3 years now.
what's your approach to the drums, to the marching drums, to the drums, to
My
playing
number
drums?
one, yeah, my number one approach is finding it's either a rhythm or a rudiment. So they're like depends on what rhythm I'm playing is the rudiment I'm gonna approach to it. And if there's especially if I'm like doing a snare drum cover to a popular song, the songs have certain rhythms or cadences that they flow through. Like if it's a rapper rapping, I try to follow his lyrics, and then based on his lyrics and rhythm, I try to apply rudiments on top of it. Um, I try to make them as complicated as possible, but it's something. But that's my number one approach. And then if there's a space in music where I can fit in a stick trick, I'll put a stick trick in there. But yeah, I always think rhythm and rudiments first before doing all the tricks.
It's amazing to me because I was always a trap cat,
Yeah,
trap star. And it's amazing to me how the theory and the science that you took it and put it over here and just
yeah,
did it in tricks and visuals and wasn't
yeah,
concerned about the groove and the pocket and the other musicians.
yeah.
That's amazing that you would think that inside your head and find a space for it. And 700,000 people said, whoa. So now that leads me to, before we get to some actual tricks, that leads me to, is that where you got the name or how you got the name or why you got the name Super Drummer?
Yeah, that's pretty much the main reason. And going back to my experience at Prairie View, we was actually in a battle of the bands, and in the battle of the bands, you gotta bring your best stuff. So the head drum director back then, he approached me and he asked me to do. I don't have three sticks with me right now, but I could juggle and play. And he asked me to juggle and play in a certain part of the performance, and I was immediately down with it. But some of my drumline mates, they were like, if you drop the stick, this would be a legacy. Joking, messing with me, trying to get into my head. And I'm like, well, if I don't drop the sticks, then you can consider me a super drummer. How about that? So, so that was like the challenge. So I did my part. So I'm like, well, shoot, I earned the name, and so I ran away with it.
Come on,
And
Jeffrey. It's amazing to hear, even in the area you in, y'all talk trash, boy.
we talk super trash.
Okay, this is the moment I've been waiting for. I got all this stuff. I made it through history and the school, but I want to get to the tricks down here at the bottom. Boy. This is it. Jabril, would you honor us? Would you do, if I may ask, would you do a few of the tricks there for us?
Yeah, I got you. That's with two sticks, and then we got three. Ah, oh yeah. Here's one I've been working on. Catch. Done. Yeah. It had.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was about to say the drops happen here or there if I'm not practicing enough, but usually I'll warm up and then I'll do a stick trick check to see where I'm at. mentally, because it's mainly a mental thing when it comes to tricks.
It looks like most of the tricks are done with one hand.
Yeah, I do have a lot of one-handed tricks, which are like 20 times 20 times harder than like maybe a regular backsticking. I'll play it on my knees. Yeah, you got the backsticking. Some of us call it triple backsticking. Some people call it a spider. You could do it with both hands. But basically, um, the reason for stick tricks, because I know a lot of people ask that too. Like, what's the point of them? Well, when you're a visual artist, like people are watching your videos, um, you got 3 to 5 seconds to stop somebody from scrolling past your video to something else, and playing a single stroke roll or a 5 stroke roll isn't gonna cut it. They're just like, oh, cool, and they keep scrolling. Whereas if they see something like this, they're like, okay, well, what's going on here? But at the same time, if you don't have balance with it, then people can get tired of it, tired of seeing it over and over. So that's the tricky part, is balancing it. But usually, yeah, the reason for tricks, especially nowadays, is like you gotta show people are watching you play, not just listening to you. So you got to be able to combine all of that stuff with your creativity to keep the eyes on your videos. So that's the reason for tricks.
Unreal, just unreal. I want to try it, but I think I might break one of my windows or something. Party in the
Yeah,
alley or something.
yeah, I've cracked a couple of windows doing it, doing tricks and
Jamil, let
dancing
me ask you
more.
this one. We
Yeah.
got a thing on the show that we call Word of Advice, where I ask the drummers, I ask the guests if they will leave a parting word of advice for the up and coming drummers, or even the guys at the next level, but that are trying to get traction in this game, in this industry. Will you leave them a word of advice?
Especially nowadays, you got to think outside the box, like far outside the box, not just a little bit outside, like far outside. Because what happens is once somebody does something, you're gonna get a whole bunch of other people trying to do the same thing to like because this person is getting views for it. But what happens is um, people already seen people already seen this person up here doing the views, doing the thing and getting all the views. So now you just look like a copycat kind of in a way. So I would say think outside the box and don't worry about what people may say or think about what you're doing. There's gonna always be criticism. There's always gonna be naysayers to say that's not gonna work. Because I went through it for many years before finally getting to where I am. So just keep your head straight in the game and don't worry about the outside noises and think outside the box when you post videos and stuff. Um, but don't hurt yourself when you do it. So
Jabril, here's a question I usually ask at the end of the show. What would you want your legacy to be said, to be told?
oh man, ooh that is the toughest question I probably ever. I never thought about that before. My legacy. Um, just that I started from zero, from nothing. Then there, I didn't have any connections, didn't know anybody in the industry and I just worked my way up through various steps, ups and downs, struggles, um, to get to where I am today. I'm not at the top or anything but I have a pretty high enough following to say that I started at the bottom and now I'm kind of up there. So my legacy ultimately is that I kept grinding it out, working my way up to as high as I could get. And and matter of fact, also I guess it counts as a legacy. Everything I do in my videos, I do teach it as well. I have a whole school teaching it. so that other people up and coming can learn from it and use it to their own advantage. So I guess that counts as a legacy as well. You know, I hope.
I think your legacy started a long time ago because you are changing the game, man. Definitely a game changer.
Yeah, I
Let me say
appreciate that.
thank you so very much for being on the Extraordinary Drummer Show.
Oh no, thank you for having me on here. I'm more than thankful to have the opportunity.
I hope you come back again and again.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
Will you help us wave goodbye to all the fans?
Yeah, y'all have a nice rest of your day, weekend, whatever time of the year it is. Hope you have enjoy it. Have a nice one.
Again, thank you, my friend. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.